Welcome to Unexplored Reality. Make sure and like this video and press the subscribe button. The Ammons Haunting Case or Demon House. In 2011, Latoya Ammons, Rosa Campbell, and their 3 children lived in what is now known as the Demon House. This case allegedly involved demonic possession and paranormal activity. The case received national attention in January 2014. In November 2011, Latoya Ammons and her family, consisting of her mother, Rosa Campbell, and her 3 children, who were ages 7, 9, and 12 at the time, moved into a house at 3860 Carolina Street in Gary, Indiana. The house, which was built in 1926 and was first occupied by a newlywed couple who lived there all their lives, was bought in 2004 by Charles Reed, who rented it out. The family first started to witness swarms of flies that would invade the house and porch. Even after the family had killed the black flies that swarmed the porch, they continued to return. Campbell heard creaking doors and footsteps in the basement prior to seeing a ghostly image wandering in the living room. She claimed to observe a shadowy figure of a man pacing in the living room, and found a boot print. In addition, during a sleepover, Ammons' 12-year-old daughter allegedly levitated above her bed unconscious as a result of prayer. This occurred after the girl returned to bed, and she had no memory of the incident. Her older son was allegedly thrown across the room by an unknown force. Her younger son allegedly had his eyes roll into the back of his head and growled, "It's time to die," and, "I will kill you." Dr. Jeffrey Onyekwu was contacted by the family on April 19, 2012. Onyekwu, who was called to the house to investigate the alleged haunting, concluded that the family's behavior was delusional. Police were notified, and the children were subsequently taken to the hospital after they arrived. The older boy was described as behaving rationally, while the younger boy screamed and thrashed. Psychologists interviewed the children, and several professionals decided that the children were behaving deceptively and in line with their mother's wishes. Wright, a psychologist, noted that the youngest son behaved as if possessed whenever he was confronted or asked questions he did not wish to answer. The Department of Child Services, DCS, investigated the family in 2012 after receiving reports that the children were being forced to perform. The New York Daily News and other outlets published sensational stories alleging that DCS officials had seen the youngest child walk up the wall backwards. Police Captain Charles Austin believed that paranormal activity took place in the house, as did a photo published by the Indianapolis Star that appeared to show a shadowy figure lurking in the house when no one was there. On April 22, 2012, the Ammons family hired Father Michael Maginot to perform an exorcism. Because demons were tormenting him, he performed 3 exorcisms, 2 in English and 1 in Latin. Latoya was the recipient of one of the exorcisms. The Ammons family was driven out of Indianapolis in 2012. Indeed, after their departure the supernatural occurrences stopped. Skeptical responses to the haunting. In his medical notes, Dr. Jeffrey Onyekwu noted the family had delusions of ghost in home, and hallucinations. The doctor did not believe that the family was experiencing any hauntings. Ammons' children had a history of irregular school attendance prior to the incident, and she was cited for the same in 2009. In 2012, she blamed the demons for keeping her children out of school. Police Chief Charles Austin's belief in the supernatural, including ghosts, is recorded by skeptical investigator Joe Nickel. The Indianapolis Star published a photograph with the caption "Photo by Hammond Police," and stated that Hammond Police took it. According to the police chief, Hammond Police did not take the picture and it was not an official Hammond Police photo. In addition, a number of witnesses were interviewed, and a number of non-supernatural causes were identified for the supernatural incidents. Ghosts and other such supernatural phenomena have never been witnessed at the house, according to landlord Charles Reed. Ammons' prior tenants also denied ever witnessing such things. Ammons was behind on rent at the time, and she used claims of paranormal activity to get out of paying. The tenant who moved in after Ammons didn't see any ghosts either. Reed thought the whole thing was a joke. A group of psychologists and other professionals interviewed the children, and they all agreed that the children were behaving deceptively and in accordance with their mother's wishes. When the child was challenged or asked questions he did not want to answer, psychologist Tracy Wright observed that the youngest son seemed possessed. What do you think? Was the Ammons family tormented by a maleficent entity? Or did the mother create a false narrative for personal gain? Many believe that this is a true case of a haunted house. Make sure and like and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.